Hi guys, how are you? I hope your day is going awesome. I'm really excited for today's video because look what I got in the mail yesterday. So this is the new Ordinary concealer, their high coverage formula. And I purchased mine from the Cult Beauty website last week. And yeah, if you want to learn more details about this, also a wear test that I'm going to conduct throughout 2 days, then keep on watching. I picked up the shade 121N, which is fair neutral, and the shade 1.2N, which is light neutral. They are packed in a squeezy tube. You do get 8 ml of product, which is quite okay for a concealer, considering that the standard average of a concealer is like 6 ml. I also learned that they are available on the US. I have seen my friend Steph from Steph's Beauty Stash doing a review. However, I haven't watched any spoilers so far. I want to have my own non-altered opinion. I haven't tried yet. I just swatched them both on my hand and I thought they are a bit too light, but we are going to see how they are working. I will also compare them with some of my favorite concealers that are like in a similar shade, just to see how they are swatching and what other options you might have in your collection already. So I want to give you a quick info about the product before we are going to test it. So the concealer that every single beauty buff wants to get their hands on. This full coverage concealer is crafted from color pigments suspended in the Ordinary's proprietary spreadability system. Sorry, I'm butchering those words. And boasts a real skin finish you'll adore. Available across a comprehensive 36 shade range that corresponds directly to the Ordinary Colors Foundation range. You'll be hard pressed to find a better color match for your favorite foundation, from the Ordinary of course, and at such an affordable price point. Now I have to make a disclaimer, I don't have the Ordinary foundation. I was thinking at some point to purchase it, but I said that I have enough foundations on my collection and I'm anyway eyeing others. I prepped my under eye area using the Inky List Caffeine Eye Cream, which I really love it. So the packaging looks like this. You have a squeezy tube and the actual shade name it's written on the cap. So this is 1.1N. So I can tell guys this is a really high coverage formula. I have high hopes for it. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try the lighter shade on my left eye and the darker shade, the 1.2 on my right eye. So because I still have something left on my finger, I'm going to, oh my god, this is really light. We will see how it goes after I'm going to apply the foundation. I mixed up, so I have the lighter shade here and the darker shade on this eye. Going with a sponge just to see how it applies. And I choose to apply the concealer before the foundation. It really covers everything on my skin. We will see how it goes with the foundation. But as of now, I think it's a bit whitish. And a little bit goes a really long way. So it's, you have to be, look, I just put a tiny little dot. They are spreading really nice. I don't know, but I really like it, how it looks so far. Just one single problem I have, if I'm mixing up the shades, I need to be really careful to not overlook the caps because you don't have anywhere else written the shade name beside your cap. So if you overlook the cap, and after that you'll have a problem to find which one is which. Today I'm going to use another affordable and really amazing finding of mine from the drugstore, the Essence Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation. And I have a review of this foundation on my channel. I will link that video down below. In case you are interested to see, I have done it like few months ago when I first seen it on my local drugstore, and now I'm happy to know that it is also available on the US. I have some blemishes that I want to cover. Oh guys, why I'm so rude? I did not squeeze you in. Oh my god, Julia. So I have this blemish here. I will put a bit around my nostrils where I have some discoloration. It really covers everything. Guys, as of now, I see that I don't need to set it. I don't know what to say. I'm going to set it for the sake of the review, but I really don't think so that you are required to set this concealer. So I think that the shade 1.2N seems to work better for me. Thanks God they are oxidizing. Otherwise, I would have looked like a ghost. And I love the fact that they are really nicely blending with my foundation. To be honest, when I swatched it last night, I thought that I will not like it because I thought that it's a bit dry. It sets in a way that made me think of a really dry concealer formula. So I'm going to use my Bitery powder to set it. And I have to remember not to keep my mirror up, because all the time when I'm editing I see that I cannot see my face because of the mirror. After I've set it with a powder, it looks even more beautiful, but you could see that it didn't set, it didn't sink whatsoever on my fine lines. So I'm really impressed. I'm going to do my full face of makeup and I will come back with swatches in comparison with other concealers that I have on my collection. Alright guys, I'm back with the full face of makeup, and this is how the new The Ordinary full coverage concealer looks so far. So I remind you that on my right eye I have the lightest shade, the 1.1N, and on my left eye I have the 1.2N. As of now, I really love the way they look on my under eye area. They didn't dry, they didn't sink on my lines. And I have some swatches that I did against my concealers that I have on my collection. From this side, from left, I don't know exactly what is your in your side, but this is the Power Play concealer in the shade light N. Okay. The next one is the Crease liquid camouflage concealer in the shade Porcelain. So you can see this is the darkest shade from all of them. The next one is the L'Oreal True Match concealer in the shade neutral Ivory. Yeah, 1N Ivory. We have the Max Factor Radiant Lift Long Lasting Concealer on the shade Fair. And the fifth and the final one is the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer on the shade Ivory. So this is the last one from here. As a formula, if I were to compare with all of these concealers that I've shown you, I think it resembles as most on the formula with the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer. Alright guys, it's 10 AM. I think I will come back with a check-in in about 3 hours because I need to leave for a medical appointment. I'm doing some allergy testing for today, but let's get out from the zoom so you can see my overall face from far away. And also I want to tell you quickly what makeup I'm wearing on my face. On my eyes I'm wearing the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and I went for a more cool look. On my face I'm wearing the blush and highlighter by the Natasha Denona blush gold duo. As a bronzer I'm using this Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette, and on my lips I'm wearing a combination between Huda Beauty lip contour on the shade Heartbreaker and the Makeup Forever lipstick Artist Rouge Light on the shade L400. So this is what I have on my face on. One thing I didn't mention about my under eye area situation, so I have very dehydrated, very dry area, and from this reason what I'm searching for a concealer besides coverage and long wearing, I also wanted not to dehydrate, to dry out my under eye area. After I'm wearing this concealer for 3.5 hours, I don't see major changes. I think from the far it looks okay, but if I zoom you in a bit, you might see that it's starting to dry out on those areas. So it's slightly showing the dehydration, which I don't usually have it when I'm wearing, for example, my L'Oreal or my Max Factor Catrice and other concealers. It's not a bad thing. It's just I want to point that out in case that you are curious. Also, I want to say that on the spot that I covered with concealer, the coverage is perfect. It's as it was when I did it, so no change so far. We will see how that it will look after I will wear mask, because right now I'm preparing to go for a checkup, so I'm going to apply a mask. And one interesting thing I wanted to say, because as I said in the beginning of the video, I managed to mix up the cap, so I put the wrong one and I could not realize which one is which. And while I was checking the tubes and the boxes, I discovered that actually you have the expiration date on each tube of the concealer and also on the box. The lighter shade, the 1N1 Neutral, expires on March 2022, and the darker shade in 1.2 expires on April 2022, because also you can find this information here on the box. Hi guys, this is the end of the first day of testing new The Ordinary concealer, and I have been wearing this concealer on my under eye area for around 11 hours. Now I will zoom you a bit in just to see. My opinion is that it doesn't look terrible, but it also doesn't look so great. The sensation that I have is that it's like it's a bit creasing and it's dusty, like I cannot explain. It never happened to me with any of the concealers to look like this. I don't know if you can tell, especially on my right eye, I have this behavior. So I don't know to which phenomenon to attribute that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it again tomorrow, but I'm not going to use a setting powder. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe I shouldn't set it with a powder because it accentuates the dryness of this concealer. As I told you from the first moment I've tried, I felt that this concealer sets immediately and you don't need to set it with a powder. So those are my thoughts for the first day of testing. It doesn't look bad. For sure I have concealers that were looking terrible on my eyes, but also it doesn't look the best. Hi guys, and welcome to the second day of testing of new The Ordinary concealer. To simplify the things, I've already applied the makeup on my face, excepting the concealer, and I'm wearing this Crease foundation. On my eyes I have the Naked Reloaded eyeshadow palette, and on my lips I'm wearing this Honest Beauty lipstick. And I don't have any powder. I decided I will not set my face also, because we said that today we are not going to set our concealer. So without any other further ado, now I will do what I wanted to do yesterday. I'm going to use on my left eye the lighter shade, and on my right eye the darkest shade, or the darker shade. I'll probably have to retouch a bit my blush. I think this is everything as far as the application goes. You see the concealer has set pretty nicely, and I think I don't need to set it with a powder right now. So we are going to see what is going to happen in the next couple of hours and how it will wear throughout the day. See you later, guys! So today I was running the test throughout 9 hours, so right now it's around 7 p.m. and right after I will finish recording the last part where I share with you my final thoughts, I will finish editing, exporting and uploading the video to my channel. That's why I have some notes here, because I don't want to forget something. I'll say that I'm not so dry like I was yesterday, because I saw when I was editing that is not that visible, the dryness. I hope that now it can be more clear. So I'm not that dehydrated, that is for sure, but I still see that I have some creases, not so much on my left eye but on my right eye. That's why I wanted to conduct this test throughout 2 days, because if I would have done it in one day and setting one eye with powder and the other one without setting it, maybe the overall feedback would have not been accurate, because my under eye texture is not similar on each eye. I don't want by any means to say that this is a bad concealer. Hence, I have made a list with pros and cons. First is the price point. You cannot beat the £490 versus $580 US. The price is really competitive. Also, the shade range is quite good. You have 36 shades and they are divided in light, medium, deep and very dark, and they're also categorized on pink, neutral and yellow, so you can exactly know what it will work for you. However, you could see that I was having trouble on matching myself, so it was good that I got 2 shades. Then the formula is also a pro. It is really suitable for vegans, gluten-free, cruelty-free. So if you are on those categories of people that have allergy or not, this is for sure a product that suits all these demands. Also, one thing that I found really useful is the fact that they have the expiration day or expiration month marked on the actual tube, so you will not be using a product that is already expired. Like I have other products that they are written they are good for 6 or 12 months or 18 and so on, and you might not remember when you have opened the actual tube or container. Now the cons is that it can be heavy, as I can see on my skin. If I don't set it with a powder, it for sure looks a bit heavy and it creases, it sets onto any fine lines. So if you are above 12 years, like I hear when Gus mentioning, you might see some slight or more obvious creasing on you, depend on the texture that you have. If you set it with a powder, it looks dry, at least in my case, and if not, it looks cakey. Now keep in mind that we're all different, we all have our opinion. I am 43 years old and I do have really dehydrated under eye area, so if you have normal under eye area you can find this concealer really good, because I really loved how it looks on the first day before it started to dry my under eye areas. And now I have one more thing to do. I need to go and watch Steph's review and see what is her opinion about the new Ordinary concealer. Alright guys, this is my review, this is my wear test and feedback about the new Ordinary concealer. If you have tried it and you have similar or different thoughts than me, please, I would like to see them down below on my comment section. I welcome you and encourage you all to leave me a comment whether if you agree or disagree with me. And other than that, I want to wish you all to have a great, fantastic weekend ahead. And I'm looking forward to see you again on my next week, when hopefully I will get my Beautylish beauty bag to unbox it with you here on my channel. So if you are interested on that, keep on watching, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I will see you really soon. Bye guys!